Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Haley. Today, I'm excited because we are going to be doing a highlight declutter. And I've needed to do this for a long time. I don't know how I've accumulated so many highlighters, but some of them definitely need to go. So let's just get into it. Okay, so I feel like this is going to be more of a blush collection than declutter. I'm probably only going to be decluttering a few because a lot of these are newer. They're products that I've gotten recently just because, like I said, I've only recently been getting more into highlighter. Guys, I remember when I only had like one highlighter or two highlighters. First of all, I have contact dermatitis on my hands. It makes them look very dry. Get that out of the way. Other thing, I just took some pretty vibrant pink polish off my nails, so I feel like they kind of stained my nails a little bit. Just figured I would add that in first of all. Let's start with this. This is kind of hard for me to choose. So this is a Jaclyn highlighter and I like how vibrant it is, but honestly, it's almost too vibrant. I don't know. I do like it, but I've always been wanting to use it for something really specific. See, it's blending into my hand, but when I put it on my face, I feel like I have a lot of texture on my face, so it just kind of accentuates that texture. So I'm gonna put this in the maybes. Just kind of off to the side. Okay, this one, I think it's time to get rid of this, but I definitely will repurchase it. I love it. It's the Flower Beauty Day Glow Highlighting Glaze in Stunner. First of all, the packaging's broken. I used it today, actually. It's just getting kind of gross, for lack of a better word. I mean, it's a balm, so you have to keep sticking your fingers into it. And I've had this for, it's either 1 year or two, and I have a feeling it's closer to 2. So I am going to declutter this. I just think I need to replace it with one that's more new. I love this though. This gives such a pretty, glossy look to your cheeks, but don't let it scare you because it just looks really natural and pretty. It doesn't look like crazy. It's not like those jelly ones that can sometimes look a little bit crazy. This is beautiful and it's from the drugstore, but it's time for me to declutter it. This is brand new to me. I know I'm keeping this one. So this one is gorgeous. It's the Physicians Formula Liquid Highlighter. I thought about putting this in the primer section, but it is technically called a highlighter, and I have been using it more so that way, like just on the high points of the cheeks, and it gives a really pretty glow. It has a strong smell though that kind of reminds me of like summertime, kind of sunscreeny almost smell, but I like it. But yeah, you could use this all over the face like before makeup or even mix it in with your foundation, but I use it more so as a highlighter, and it's called a highlighter, so I included it here. But this is like, seriously, I've only had it maybe a month and I'm loving it. So I'm gonna keep this one. This is another one that's newer to me. So, okay, I feel like I need to put both of these here. So I have two ColourPop highlighters here. They're both Super Shock highlighters. This is the newer one that I have, and it's in Flexitarian. I guess I didn't realize that these have two different, oh no, they don't, they're the same. This one's in Lunch Money. Why are these different formula-wise? I like Lunch Money more than I like Flexitarian, which I didn't think was possible. This one is much more of a cream to powder formula than Flexitarian is. And it can just look really pretty when you just tap it on and then blend it out with a sponge. It's gorgeous. But then I got Flexitarian and it's just more powdery. And it doesn't blend in the same way Lunch Money does. Like Lunch Money's here, Flexitarian's here. And I feel like I like the shade better of Flexitarian, but again, this one kind of accentuates my texture too. Because it's so new, I think I'll keep it and see if I can find another way to like use it that works for me, because I feel like it took me a while to figure out how to even use the Lunch Money one, but I do really like this one. I wonder why the packaging's different too. I guess I did get this one, is it a year ago maybe? So I don't know if they just updated their packaging, but I'm going to keep them both with the knowledge that I like Lunch Money better. The formula is different to me, and I need to keep figuring out how I might be able to use this one that works for me. Okay, this I'm putting into my little collection of makeup that I can't use anymore because it is Champagne Pop from Becca, their original Becca packaging, not even the Smashbox one. This is just Becca, so you know this is old. and I shouldn't be using it anymore. It is really pretty though. I mean, it's so famous for a reason, and I feel like I'm gonna put it away just so I can like be nostalgic about the packaging, but I should definitely not be using this anymore. So I'm gonna put this off to the side. This one I love from MAC. It is their Extra Dimension Skin Finish in Double Gleam. I wore this on my wedding day. It's beautiful. It's somehow in between a cool and warm toned highlighter. I don't know how to explain it. Like, it looks kind of more, see on camera, it's looking a little more cool toned, but I feel like in person, it can look more gold toned. But it's cool. It's kind of right in the middle. That's why I wore it on my wedding day. I thought it would kind of help pull everything together, and it did. It's really, really pretty. I like this highlighter a lot, so I'm going to keep it. This one I got maybe in the last year. It's the Revlon Skin Lights highlighter in Daybreak Glimmer. I'm going to keep this because I still think it's good, and it's the only true like gold toned highlighter that I have, and it's nice to have it when you need it. I don't reach for it that often, but I feel like it's just different enough that it's good to have for certain types of makeup looks. So I'm gonna keep this one. This one is so confusing to me on whether this is discontinued or not. So I could have sworn that this was discontinued. I even put it in like a discontinued products that I love video because you couldn't find it on their website anywhere. And then I found this in TJ Maxx. So this is an OG makeup product. It's the Physicians Formula Shimmer Strips in Natural Nude. And they make eyeshadows like this now too. So this is just gorgeous. You could also use this as like a blush or even maybe like a bronzer topper. I like to just kind of put my brush over this part of it, and it just gives a really gorgeous, subtle highlight, and all the different tones in here just mixed together so beautifully. I love it. But yeah, I found this at TJ Maxx and I was so excited because I was like, yes, because this is discontinued. No, I have seen it in stores. So I feel like they've recently brought it back. I think the packaging's the same and everything. So I'm going to keep this because I only got it recently. It was at TJ Maxx, which means it's probably on the older side, but I'm just going to keep it probably for maybe another year or so and then declutter it, especially since I know that I can get it. Maybe I should just, next time I see it in store, buy a new one to have as like a backup. That's probably the way to go. Okay, this one, you guys recognize this? I never show this in videos because I just never know how people are going to feel about it, but this is the Olivia Jade highlighting palette. And you know what, you guys? I don't really follow Olivia Jade, but the highlighter looked really pretty to me at the time. This is old, you guys. This must be 2018. Maybe it was 19, but I feel like maybe it was 18. This is my favorite highlighter, you guys. I never talk about it, like I said, but if you mix this shade and this shade, it is such a pretty like pinky highlighter, which you wouldn't think that I would like. So here's just the darker one. And then here is the lighter one. I'm getting notifications from Sigma. I'm on their like text message list for discounts. It's so funny. So this is seriously my favorite highlighter. It's probably the highlighter I've used the most, except for the Champagne Pop. So this is years old and I need to stop using it, but because it was such a favorite, I probably am going to just put it in with the Becca highlighter as one that I always really, really liked, and just kind of put it in a drawer with some other things. So I hope I didn't offend anyone. I'm just talking about the product, and the product's really good, which honestly makes me want to try. They have another highlighting palette that's not that different looking from this. I feel like I should buy that and test it out and see if the formula is the same. It probably is. It's just something about, that's the funny thing though, I never used, let me open this back up. I never used this shade, this one, or this one. I only ever used this one when I was super bronzed up, this one and this one. But it wasn't that expensive because Sephora collection's not that expensive, and I always really loved it. So it's time to put it away though. I definitely shouldn't be using this anymore. This is another favorite of mine, the Laura Mercier. This is their Baked Matte Radiance Powder in Highlight 01. This is such a pretty, subtle highlight. If you are somebody that does not like to be gleaming, I mean, this just gives the prettiest subtle highlight. It's gorgeous. The thing is though, I've had it for a few years. I've maybe even had it for 3 years. So I'm wondering if I should declutter it. And I feel like I do use it, but I don't use it enough to justify like keeping it for a little bit longer. Oh, I think it's time to declutter this one. It is really good though. Highly recommend. It's just getting old. And then this is another one that I think it's finally time for me to get rid of. This one's really old. This might even be older than the Olivia Jade one. So it lasts forever. It's the J-Cat Pro Luminizer. This highlighter is gorgeous. It looks like it's going to be too white, but it's another one that just gives a really subtle glow and it sinks into the skin so well. It's actually looking a little more powdery on my hand, which is telling me that I probably need to get a new one. But yeah, normally it just sinks in so beautifully and it doesn't leave a white cast even though it's super white. Yeah, I think it's time for me to get rid of this one. This is from the drugstore. You can get it from CVS. So I think I'll probably do that too. I'll pick up one of the Physicians Formula ones and also pick up this, but I'm gonna declutter this one because I know that I can still find it. And last but not least, I have this one from Dior, very, very fancy. I got it thinking I would use it for my wedding day, but I didn't end up using it. This is in their Dior Forever Couture Luminizer in Pink Glow. This is really pretty. It's such a light pink that you almost can't tell that it's pink. Wow, I wish I wore this today. It's so pretty. So I'm definitely going to be keeping this one. It has an interesting smell, very perfumey like a lot of Dior's products. So if you don't like that, you probably wouldn't like this, but I haven't noticed the smell lingering on the skin for very long. So you might need to go into a store and just see how you feel about it. But it is a really pretty highlighter. A little more on the subtle side, but you can definitely build this one up more than that Laura Mercier one for sure. Okay, now we're back to this Jaclyn one. Do I want to keep this? I have a lot of other highlighters that I really, really like, so I think I'm going to declutter this one. I got, you know, some use out of it, and it is really pretty, but it always looks like it's going to be prettier swatched than it actually is on my face specifically, so I'm going to declutter this. Okay, we actually did better than I thought, so we're going to be keeping 7 highlighters, and we're going to be decluttering 6. So pretty much even. We're good. We're getting rid of 50% of the collection. This makes me really happy. Again, pretty much the only one of these that I wasn't super happy with was the Jaclyn one. The rest of them are just old. So I don't have any in here that I just absolutely despise, which is a good sign. So just keep that in mind when you're doing shopping for highlighters. All of these, except for maybe the Jaclyn one, are amazing. And I would recommend, of course, you can't get this packaging anymore for the Becca, and then this is for sure discontinued, but they do have a similar palette that you could check out. All right, I feel good about this. If you enjoyed this video, I hope that you will subscribe, and if you're already subscribed, I hope you'll hit the notification bell so you get notified when I upload new videos, and I hope that you have a wonderful rest of your day. Love you guys. Bye.